To the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. We're going to have a great time today because we have Randy McNeely in the house, and we're going to be talking about this thing called kindness, and maybe even helping each other be civil today. So, Randy, good morning. How are you doing? Good afternoon. Wherever you watch this, wherever you watch.
I'm doing great, Russ. Even better because, I have the chance to be on the Pirate Broadcast again. I am with a great man named Russ Johns. I mean, what else could I ask for this morning?
I really appreciate that. And also for everyone that joins in, jumps on, or listens to this broadcast, Randy has been kind enough to contribute a book to the giveaway. We do a giveaway every day on the Pirate Broadcast. And so if you're watching, you're on board, you're listening to this, just jump in the comments and type in hashtag Pirate Nation. And let's get some books out the door today. All right. So Randy, since our last chapter, tell people that haven't met you or new pirates or new to the community a little bit about what you're doing and what your focus is.
Well, of course, you've got the title up there, the Chief Kindness Officer. I'm the Chief Kindness Officer for the Peacock Institute. My focus is to inspire individuals and organizations to embrace positive culture and kindness, to be able to unleash creativity and innovation and productivity in their lives and in their organizations. It's interesting. I've had a little bit of not a shift of focus, but just a different direction in some things I'm doing. I'm working really hard with an organization called the National Civility Association to help them to bring their civility summits to high schools around the country. Mm-hmm. Basically what they do is they come into communities and they work with community leaders and first responders and business owners to bring together a summit for high school students to help them create what they call the Find the Kind Challenge, an opportunity to find ways to bring kindness and civility back into high schools. What a concept, right? We were talking about this prior to coming on, how, everything I needed to know about life, I learned in kindergarten. Yeah. They were, National Civility Association did some amazing work prior to COVID. They had, right before COVID hit, they had an amazing summit with these high schools in Minnesota. They were part of the Minnesota Twins Fest up there. Inspired a lot of young people and wanted to go and say, hey, we're going to find ways to be kind and do all these things. And they went back into their schools and started kindness clubs. They started various activities. And one testimonial, and I don't remember where, basically since doing the Civility Summit, they've seen violence in their schools go down, bullying in the school has gone down, the number of drug use in the school has gone down. All these different things, direct result of these civility summits. And the whole goal behind them is to not do a one and done event. You have a rah-rah session and everybody, right, 10 minutes after they leave, what was that guy's name? What did he say we needed? What were those takeaways we were supposed to do?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's not a one and done event. It's something, you create the plan at the summit. Uh-huh. Then you go back and there's follow-up. You go back into the school and put that plan into action. And they've got they're going to have a YouTube channel and things and all kinds of resources that those young people can use in order to be able to, create and maintain and sustain, kindness within the schools over time. And you think about the impact that can have. It's what a lot of these young people, they get access to those kind of things at school. They live in homes where kindness isn't necessarily prevalent.
Yeah.
And you get the parents involved. Some of the testimonials are that, the parents have noticed a change in their kids and it's having a direct impact at home. And so, there's all kinds of great things that can come from this. I'm working
What's an
really hard with
example?
them to be able to promote it.
What's an example, Randy, of the actual takeaways that they would receive from one of these events? I mean, what practices can we express today with the pirate community that you're sharing in these events, in these activities? Because
One of them is
just talking about kindness is one thing, but actually taking some action items and putting it out there is another thing. So kind of walk us through how that manifests.
well, one of the things that, Dr. Mike Thompson is a facilitator, and he's an amazing guy. And one of the things he talks about is better me, better you, better us.
Mm.
As we strive to become better people ourselves and adopt behaviors that are, kindness behaviors that are conducive to building strong relationships and being able to interact collaboratively. Yes, I can say that word. Interact collaboratively with each other. Then we that leads to the second thing: better me. I'm better me, better you. We can help other people to become better.
Uh-huh.
And as I become better, as you become better, we become better. Communities become better. The school becomes better. It makes a big difference. And the other thing he talks about, and I'm not sure I can remember the third part of this. I hope I remember right. Is stand up, speak out, make a difference, or be different. Make a difference. Something like that.
Uh-huh.
Have the courage to stand up, and have the courage to, or speak up, speak out, and stand up. Something like that.
Yeah.
But have the courage to speak out for the things that are right.
Yeah.
Without fearing and without being concerned about what other people might think. We all, if we want to make a difference, if we want to have an impact on this life, we can't just sit there and do what I call a bunch of navel gazing, right? And looking at, people's belly buttons and thinking, okay, I hope somebody does something.
Yeah.
We need to have
somebody needs to do something about this.
Yeah, I hope somebody else will do something about this. No, if you see something that can be improved and have a suggestion for how to make things better, stand up and speak out about it.
Yeah.
Don't, and have the courage if you know something's going on too. So many youth suicides could have been prevented.
Yeah.
If people who knew what was going on, and a lot of times people know what's going on and they just don't say anything.
Yeah.
If people knew what was going on, stood up and spoke out and said, "Hey, no, we can't let this happen."
Yeah.
And find a way to encircle these people about, let them know that they're loved and they're cared for.
Well,
I can't
some hope.
help but think of a story told by Hiram Smith, who was the founder, one of the originating founders of Franklin Planners, the Franklin Company, who is now, Franklin Covey. He tells a story of going into a bunch of high schools in Utah. In one particular high school, they asked him to come in and talk to the druggies in the high school. He was going around doing assemblies for all these high schools to encourage, kids to take responsibilities for their lives and not use drugs. And he was working with the Utah Jazz at the time, as a combination thing. On this one particular high school, the principal asked him to come in, and he said, "I don't want you to speak to the entire high school. The entire high school doesn't have the drug problem. I want you to speak to the kids who are the druggies, have that label, who are the ones that are having challenges with that." And he said, "Okay, I'll take him. I'll do that." And he introduced what he called the belief model, or the reality, what he later called the reality model. And I don't remember the entire model. I just remember, basically we all have beliefs on our belief window. This is the way we see life. I believe this is this way. I believe this is this way. If I believe that dogs are scary, every time I see a dog, I'm going to run.
Sure.
And he talks about how our beliefs drive our behaviors and how behaviors produce results. And if we want to change the results we get, we need to change the beliefs on our belief window so that we change our behaviors and get different results. And the whole reason I brought that up is because one of the kids in there gave him a really hard time. And he says, "Okay, let's take your stuff through the model." And they did that. And it's like, he was talking about, you said if I do drugs, I could end up having issues and challenges and stuff, and I won't be happy. He says, "I'm happy as a clam taking drugs." I
Yeah.
do it all the time. He said, okay, let's take that through the model. And he took it through the model, and he finally says, okay, so tell me someone who, you can either learn by doing or learn from somebody else's example.
Yeah.
So tell me someone who took drugs all their life and ended up really happy. First name mentioned, um, Elvis Presley. Okay, where's Elvis Presley now? He's dead.
Yeah.
And then they named someone else, Janis Joplin. Okay, where's Janis Joplin now?
Yeah.
She's dead. He said, well, he just spoke up. Has anybody else seen a pattern here?
Yeah.
And long story short, that same kid that had been given a hard time, he got it. He understood the model. Later, he came back. He says, I have a friend. She's not my girlfriend, but I have a friend that's having a really hard time, and I want to walk her through the model. And she's struggling, and she's thinking about committing suicide. And he says, okay, what do you think might be on her belief window? Well, she doesn't believe that she's worth anything.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't believe she's worth anything, what's she going to do over here in the behavior section? What's she going to do? And says, well, she'll lash out at people, and she might end up killing herself because she doesn't feel like she's got any value in this life. And that result is that the result. And he just said bluntly, is that the result that you guys want to see her have? How many of you are friends with her in here? And a bunch of the kids raised their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, is that the result you want to see? And they're like, no, we don't want to. And he says, well, what do you think we better do? And the kid that had been giving the hardest time, he immediately stands up. He says, we need to love her. We need to love her.
Yeah.
You think about it. That's what needs to happen now. There's kids out there. There's young people out there who are, and it's not just young people. I mean, our communities, adults, everybody that are out there yearning for someone to just love them.
Yeah.
We all have basic needs. We all need to love and be loved. We all need to eat. We all need to sleep. We all need those things. But of all those things, the most powerful things, we need to feel loved. We need to feel like we have value. We need to feel like we're important. And so that's why I'm so excited about these national civility summits, because if we can get in front of these young people and help them to realize and recognize the importance, the vital importance of understanding that they can look themselves in the mirror every day and say, I am good,
Mm-hmm.
I have value, and I can make a difference.
Yeah.
They can look in the mirror and believe that about themselves, because they're priceless. Every one of us is priceless. You think about it. We sell. Why do some cars or bikes or instruments or other things like that at auction go for such tremendously high values?
Mm-hmm.
It's because they're one of a kind.
They're one of a kind.
They're
They're
unique.
unique.
Every single person on this planet is one of a kind, and therefore priceless.
Yeah.
We're priceless. So if we can inspire young people to feel that, think about you inspire these young people to adopt behaviors, what I call kindness behaviors encompassed by the circle of kindness: honesty, integrity, respect, setting expectations, clear expectations, listening well, and the list can go on and on.
Right.
If they're learning to adopt and ingrain those kind of behaviors in high school,
Yeah.
or younger, you go into younger, in elementary school, whenever it is, you establish habits and rituals that help them to ingrain those behaviors. Then think about the kind of workforce is going to come in. Think about the kind of students there'll be, universities. Oh my gosh, you got these kids that are disciplined, that work hard, that understand these behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the influence, the power that could have
Yeah.
in the impact on the future. You're an employer.
It's part of the process is healing some of the things that have we've been involved in last couple of years, especially is there are a lot of challenges out there. And I think
yeah.
I want to go back to something you said though, is through this process, this, going through this process and understanding what the actions are that we can take. Because sometimes if you take action and start producing kindness, a change takes place in your life. And you
Oh,
can see how it impacts other people, like opening a door, simple activities like smiling, just
yeah,
returning a shopping cart,
yeah.
picking up some trash, all of these things, just little subtle things that just make a difference. You take it instead of saying that's not my job or that's not my responsibility. Like you said, we
Yeah.
all have the opportunity to do something powerful to help someone around us.
Well, we do. And you think about this. When that's the beautiful thing about my book, The Kindness Giver's Formula. The
Uh-huh.
formula is so easy, and yet it is powerfully effective. You know, and I'm going to say it again. Every day, I can determine to be a kindness giver. Every day I wake up, I determine to be a kindness giver. I'm going to be kind today. That puts it top of mind for me. And then
Yeah.
the next thing, every day, think about and plan simple ways that you can be kind, potential opportunities to be kind. Think about who you're going to be with, where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, and think of ways to be kind in those opportunities. And then go forward and look for and act on those opportunities. Any opportunities that present themselves. Don't be complacent. Don't just hope that some random opportunity is going to come up. Be
No,
actively looking for those opportunities.
it's like
And
waking up every day with gratitude and saying,
yeah,
look at all of the wonderful things I have. The sky is blue, the sun is shining or wherever it happens to be. Just have gratitude for some of the smallest things, the things that you don't always notice. And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really important. And I want to remind people that Jenny Gold's in the house. Hi, Pirates. We all need to hear about kindness. Thank you so much. And Pirate Nation, Randy's giving away a book at the end of the show. So if you want to participate and have him ship out a book to you, just type in hashtag Pirate Nation, and we're going to be doing a giveaway for this. Tracy's in the house. Tracy, love the producer. She's
Yeah.
always here. She's always awesome. And she's typing in Pirate Nation as well. Amit, thank you so much. Best wishes to both and everyone from India. I hope you guys are staying safe, Amit. So I really keep going, keep rocking. Sending out blessings for you. Marsha Reese, who's an amazing individual that everyone should meet. Pirate Nation, good morning to everyone. How cool to see two men who focus on kindness. So needed.
Thank
Thank,
you to
thank you for
everybody.
that, Marsha. Appreciate it. Wendy's in the house. Welcome to the Pirate Posse, Randy. We have an awesome crew, and we're led by a benefit uh, benef-
Benef- Beneficent.
admiral who rarely makes us swab the decks or walk the plank. Kindness is the most beautiful language in the world. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Wendy.
And it says it's always awesome to listen to like-minded people across the globe. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Nina Perez, what a deep conversation. Wow. Nina, thank you so much for being here. I love what you're doing over on Windjack Studios and the crew over there. Amit says, our youth are like plants, should be supported and nurtured in the best possible way so that we can support our existence for the future.
That is
Man,
so spot on.
so spot on. Jenny Gold says, both of you together on my show. I think I'm going to be on Jenny's show next Friday, June 4th. So
I'd love to be on your show, Jenny. Anybody who'd like to connect with me, you can reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm also on Facebook, but I don't get on there. I'm on there very rarely.
yeah, likewise. And,
But
and and that's the whole point of the pirate broadcast and the pirate community is making sure that we have an opportunity to collaborate, have conversations just like this.
yeah,
Incredibly powerful stuff. And I know we were doing the random act together and putting some great work out there and doing some things like that, Randy. and I know that going forward, you're getting ready to launch a second book, version 2.0. So that's going to be on the horizon as well. You want to talk
Yeah.
about the book and what people can look forward to in the book?
Yeah, I'm rewriting Kindness Giver's formula. I'm not rewriting it, but I'm just updating it, making 2.0. There's gonna have be a little bit more of a workbook like section at the end of each chapter, and then I'm also adding in there's one more step. That I talked about the 3 steps. Determine, think, and plan. Look for and act on opportunities to be kind. The 4th step was invite and encourage other people to do the same, and then there's one more step that is really vital, and that's at the end of the day, take a few minutes and reflect on your experiences being kind. Just a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then write them down, record them. I find that writing has a tendency to engrave things on our hearts.
Hmm.
You talk about, the reason I started talking about the Kindness Giver's formula, because it's interesting. There's things all around us that we don't notice unless we're specifically looking for them. It's amazing. People who are kind, who I've talked about, who have gotten a copy of my book, they say, well, what do I need this formula for? I mean, they basically implied, what do I need this formula for? I'm already kind. And I said, well, just go and use this formula for a week. And they come back and they say, all of a sudden I noticed all these things that were around me that were there before that I wasn't noticing because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I
wasn't paying attention.
And that same thing happened to me. I mean, I'm the author of the book. I'm the kindness giver. And when I really focus on, okay, I've got to follow this formula. If I'm going to preach it, I got to follow it. I got to walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
Right.
Well, I start noticing all these things around me and all these different ways that I can show kindness. And there's dozens and dozens of different ways, and they don't have to be anything bigger or grandiose. They can be just simple things. Think about students in school. One school, they just started putting notes of appreciation on a board. They put Post-it notes all over the place. Say, hey, Russ, I appreciate you. Thanks for being the good man you are. Randy, thanks for listening to me today. Thanks for taking the time to let me talk with you. Any number of things, or writing kind things about other students, and it made a huge difference.
Yeah.
That's just one simple thing. It's like you were saying earlier, you can open a door, you can get take a cart back for somebody, or you can offer to, there's these stores around here, you have to put a quarter in to get the cart to go to to go in and get your groceries. Well, okay, just give someone your cart and they don't have to put a quarter in.
Right.
Whatever it might be. You start
buy somebody's coffee in line, or
yeah,
whatever it happens to be.
Well, and the key thing is,
I just had to pause you there, Randy, because yesterday I was thinking, I went to the grocery store and I was thinking, what would the world be like if everybody returned their cart?
Yeah.
Or if you just took a cart back, like you're picking up a cart, just pick one out from the parking lot and just use that cart. Just take it to the store with you. So like you're going that way anyway.
It would be an amazing, simple little thing, and save the guy that has to go around gathering all those carts 50 times a day, a bunch of headache.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, one of the greatest things we can do for people around us, and another reason I love these civility summits is because basically we're striving to inspire them, to fill them with what I call the pay it forward feeling.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling of happiness we get when we help somebody else, and then we can't help but want to do something else. Somebody does something kind for us, we can't help but want to go out and do something for somebody else, and then they do it for somebody else, and then they do it. If we can create that pay it forward feeling, that ripple, I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing.
I don't think people realize how simple it can be, and what change it takes just in your day-to-day activities, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about those around you, how you see and perceive different things as you go through your day. And like you say, you start to notice things. you start to notice things that you can actually make an impact on and make a difference with. And I
Yeah.
think it's important for people to understand that we all matter. Just go out there and make it matter.
Well, and I love that. I just noticing what Wendy wrote in the comments. She says big acts of kindness usually happen in very small ways. And that's so true. How big, the receiver side's how big. I'm a believer in the repay it forward feeling.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love that the way she says kindness usually happens in very small ways. And I'm
Absolutely.
going to share just one story. I've shared it before on your broadcast. I'll share one story out
Yeah.
of my book. I had an amazing friend when I was in junior high school. At that time in my life, um, my self-esteem just was not good. A lot of different things, some really challenging things going on in my family, etc. And so I just my self-esteem was just terrible. I got asked to type up an agenda for a student council meeting. And so I get the agenda all typed up, and I got to the classroom early so I could spread them out on the tables where the students, on the council were going to be coming in. And a good friend of mine comes walking in. She was this beautiful girl, a cheerleader, sweet, vivacious, cheerful all the time. I'll call her Michelle. And Michelle comes walking in, and she's the kind of girl that most guys wanted to talk to, but every time they tried, their mouth, it's like their tongue swelled 3 times the size. Can't get anything out. Well, she just had that effect. She was amazing. And she comes in and she picks up an agenda and she looks at it and she says, and not in an unkind way, but she just says, oh, kind of matter of factly, did you know you misspelled the word miscellaneous? And I picked one up and I looked at it and I was like, dying inside. And I said my response to her reflected exactly how I felt about me at the time. I said, "Oh no, no, I didn't. I guess you think I'm pretty stupid, huh?" And I said it just like this. I guess you think I'm pretty stupid, huh?
Yeah.
She did not miss a beat in her response. And she said to me 9 words that I have never forgotten. I've never forgotten, and I will not forget them for as long as I live. To the day I die, if I get Alzheimer's, I will never forget this phrase. She said, "Oh no, I don't. I think you're pretty neat." And without missing a beat, she said that to me. And I'll tell you, Russ, I mean, that touched my heart so deeply. I had no idea at the time how badly I needed to hear someone tell me that they thought I was neat.
Yeah.
Back
to the love.
I needed that love.
Yeah.
I mean, and it touched me so deeply that I started to tear up at the time, and I had to hurry and, it's a manly teenager. I couldn't let her see me cry. So I had to go. I just said, I need to go. I made an excuse. I need to go to the bathroom. I got out in the hall. There were no other students in the hallway at that time. I ran to the boys' bathroom. I locked myself in a stall and I sat down and I cried. It's like, I couldn't believe, that somebody thought I'd neat. And for me, it was like I heard this voice in my head from heaven saying, I've been trying to tell you that. So I used Michelle to tell you.
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell you that. I couldn't get through. So I used Michelle to tell you.
Yeah.
You're
here. You are neat. You're very awesome. And I'm glad that you're here and we're lucky to have you around. So
I'm so blessed to be around. I'm so grateful. Michelle was a godsend in my life at that time. And I've been, part of the reason I am who I am is because there were things going on where I needed to have my friends circle around me.
Yeah. You needed the opportunity to lift it up.
I'll tell you, if they hadn't at that time, I contemplated more than once at that time in my life of ending it all.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for my friends, how I thank God to this day for friends and for parents of friends, people who reached out and put their arms around me in love and helped me to realize that, I am good. I have value. and I can make a difference. And those things, those thoughts, thinking about those times is what propels me to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And to want to make a difference and have an impact in people's lives today, particularly in young people's lives, to give back the gift that I received back then.
So, Randy, let me ask you this before we wrap up today. So, why, if someone's listening to this or just scrolling through and happens to see this, why would somebody want to listen to this episode today? What would they want to take away from it?
I think take away that there's an opportunity to bring a powerful tool into your community, into the schools in your community, the National Civility Summits. And I want your international audience to keep in mind, we're working hard to get this going in the United States. That's just a step. Time's going to come when we're going to go international. We'll be the International Civility Association or the World Civility Association, something like that, and bring it to young people all across the world. Because if there's ever a time in our planet's history when people need a message of civility and kindness and need to know and understand how they can adopt and ingrain behaviors that are conducive to those things, which overall lead to the happiness we all desire, then they need to be aware of it, and we're going to bring it to you.
So we're going to give away a book, Randy's book. Is it The Kindness Formula?
The Kindness Giver's Formula.
Kindness Giver's Formula. So if you haven't typed in hashtag Pirate Nation in the comments, go ahead and type the hashtag Pirate Nation in the comments. And here, I'll put it up here on the screen. Let's see if I can do this. Enter the giveaway. And we're going to give this away before we wrap up. Randy, I just want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being part of the pirate community. The pirates are out there. We're doing really great work. Russ Hedge, who's a pirate. I love it, Randy. Chief Kindness Officer is awesome. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. Absolutely, positively. Mud Modular, a simple smile can change someone's life.
Hey, can I throw one more thing out there, Russ?
Absolutely.
One of the big things that it takes in order to be able to run summits like this, of course, it comes down to being able to have the money to do it.
Uh-huh.
And one of if you know of anyone who would be interested in sponsoring, who wants to be able to reach an audience of young people, any organizations that want to be able to reach an audience of young people, of their parents, etc., which, by the way, is a $1.4 billion, or no, let me rephrase that, $1.4 trillion market. Anybody that would be interested in sponsoring those summits to come into your town, please connect with me, reach out to me via LinkedIn, and let me know, and we'll be happy to connect with them and talk to them a little bit more. If you want to learn more about the National Civility Association, you can go to nationalcivilityAssociation.org.
And I know that Tracy will be putting all of these links in the transcription. And
I was going to say one more thing. If you want to learn more about me, you can visit randymcneely.com.
Yes, randymcneely.com. Thank you, Randy. So let's do this drawing for a book. Randy will send you a book. And
how do you do the drawing? How does this work?
Well, let me show you. Here, let's do this thing.
Awesome.
All right. I'm going to share this out. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to run this program here and allow things to run. So we're going to do the drawing. So everybody that typed in here, everybody that's here today, entered the drawing. Slowing down. Russ Hedge.
Awesome.
So we're going to have Russ Hedge. Russ Hedge is the winner today. So, if you stop by today in the pirate community, in the pirate broadcast, share this out, because we're doing these things. We're doing the giveaways. We're having amazing guests and amazing pirates in the community share some of this information and provide a little bit of guidance and care in the community. So I just love that you're here. Thank you so much. And Randy, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
It's a total blessing and honor for me to be on with you every time, Russ.
Well, I just really think that it's an opportunity to share a little bit of kindness, and anything we can do to lift people up right now is I think the most important thing to do. So,
well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And just look forward to the next time.
Yeah. So like and subscribe and all the social things that we need to do. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, somewhere else. Find us, track us down. All right.
YouTube.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.